Hi guys. Alright, so upon request, how I discovered the Ouija in my 22 years of using it. I think I've told this before, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. Witchboard. The movie, Witchboard. Witchboard came out, saw it, and had to have a Ouija. A Witchboard. So I had my dad recreate the board from the movie, and I realized that it was not like the movies. It actually worked. It worked. So that kind of started my whole Witchboard was my gateway into the world of Ouija. So then, you know, those commercials, are you moving it, are you moving it, you're moving it. So I seen those commercials and I was like, okay, well, I want one, I want a real one. So that was on my Christmas list for Santa. And then Christmas morning, I got it a long time ago. Lo and behold, right there, boom, under my tree was Ouija. So that's how I got started. That's really honestly how I got started. And it's really cool that I got my tarot cards and my Ouija at the very same time, the same Christmas. I was already into, you know, magic and spell work and witchcraft and everything already, so I always had that support behind me. I was never forced to go to church or, you know, anything. I was given free. Somebody wants to say hi. So I was never, like, told, you can't do that. That's the devil. I was never told that. Ever. I did go through a period, like a very small period, where they thought I was obsessed with the board, which I kind of was, being that young, because I was actually talking to these beings, these spirits, and it was incredible, and it just validated everything that I felt already at that young age. So, so there was a small point where it did tell me to cut my clothes up, but that was my own subconscious mind wanting to get creative and just rebel, I guess, maybe. I don't know. This was a long time ago, a very long time ago. So, Bible school. I was sent to Bible school one time, and that was it. They had question and answers, so I asked. I wanted to know. I asked them. I said, okay, I have a Ouija board. When I said that, she told me, she pulled me aside and she told me that that was never to be talked about. The only person that can speak to the dead is God, and that anybody else that does so will go to hell and burn for all eternity. So she wrote me little scripture notes on sticky notes. I ripped them up and I called my mom. And that never happened again. Ever. Ever. So, I guess I just came home and I told my mom and my dad, you know what they told me to read in the Bible, which was bullshit. Complete bullshit. And lies. So I came to a passage, I remember what they wrote, and it said something like, oh, a very small, minute majority of people are actually only able to speak to God. God is not here. God is distant. So it just didn't make any sense to me. It was completely stupid. It did not ring true to me. It made me feel worse for about a year. They made me think that hell was a very real place, so I did fear hell. But then in the back of my head, at night I would tell myself, I would tell Satan that there was no way that any of what they said could be true. And I just built my way up from that one small Bible group that told me that it was evil and that I would open up portals to hell. Still, where are they? Nowhere. Yeah, that's how I got started. That's really how I got started. Oh God. I did get my boards burned. Quite often too. Parts of my family are very taboo about the Ouija, and so that, you know, they would come over after Christmas and see that I had gotten a new board, because I would get one each year because a family member would break them. But if that were to happen today, no. Oh hell no. That would never happen again. So, I did have a lot of backlash, it being so young and into witchcraft and spirit communications and everything, but it was worth it. It was all worth it. It totally led me up to this point. And I can just remember sitting in my closet using it, and communications, valid, accurate, just incredible communications with these other sentient beings, ethereal beings, interdimensional beings. I can't remember who I used to talk to. It was in the realm of the dead, because I really wasn't aware of, you know, angels. Well, I was, but I didn't fully understand that you could contact angels in different realms with the board. I had no idea of the extent of how far you could go with it. So I really, for a long time, it was talking to the dead, and just really forming friendships with spirit friends. So it was very, very a positive thing in my life. I was the person that, don't go hang out with him. He's into Satanism. He worships Satan. All kinds of weird rumors that went around. Oh yeah, rumors went around bad. That I had goat skulls hanging in my bedroom, that I sacrificed goats. That was completely new to me. I would never hurt an animal. I could never hurt an animal. So that's how it all started. It really did. It grew from there. I think I was probably 6 or 7 years old when I discovered Witchboard, and then that just led to everything. Just my entire obsession, or passion. As a passion. It's an obsession, but it's a passion too. But it was really cool. It was a very cool experience. But yeah, not having religion thrown in my face, I was told to find my own path. I did. And I did. I found it, and I stuck with it. And here I am, still alive. I've never been possessed. And yeah, from that experience though with Bible study, fucking ridiculous. So stupid that they think that only a minute minority of people can actually talk to the divine or communicate with spirits, when that's completely false. So, and then I just kind of, it went from Wicca, and then to witchcraft, and then to voodoo, and then I got out of that complete mess of a faith. Stupid. Seriously, stupid. Why waste so much money on food for the dead? Really? When you could be feeding actual people with that food? I think that's fucking stupid. But yeah, I went through all of that. All of the spirit communications. I read books to developing your psychic abilities. I studied, I practiced and practiced and practiced. I practiced astral projection. I would sit for hours in my closet with the Ouija and wait for responses. So I have a lot of miles under the planchette, if you want to say. So that I honestly have worked for this, for what I can do now. So yeah, that's basically how everything got started. Every Christmas I would get new books on witchcraft, necromancy, alchemy, everything, the Satanic Bible. So I was I had a very good upbringing, very good. I wasn't forced to, believe this way's the only way, and the only right way, or you're gonna go to hell. And I was never told, really, it really wasn't a thing. That wasn't something that you told your kids when I was growing up. You didn't tell your kids, well, you're gonna go to hell for doing this and doing that, or, we would, at 12 years old, we would go out into the woods and pierce our belly buttons. We did normal kid stuff. Not like they do today. Not like people are today. Today is very strange. Very different from when I was growing up. A lot of people force their faith on their kids, and it's just wrong. I would just definitely stay clear of organized religion, especially Christianity, because it's the worst. It's horrifying to grow up thinking that you're going to go to hell for all eternity for wanting to know more, for gaining knowledge, for using a Ouija for spirit communications, for channeling, for reading the tarot cards, tea leaves, anything. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. No, what's the word I'm looking for? That's the Christian God to me is a sociopath, vengeful, evil, the true devil, the true devil of the world. So I don't know. I just was always given free range to explore my path myself. So it was not an issue whatsoever. As I became older, it became more of an issue because certain people, well, what are people going to think of you? That you have white hair or tattoos, or that you are known for the Ouija. What are people going to think of you? What are people going to think of us? What are people going to say? That's stupid. That's stupid. Worry about your own family as a community. Your colony is your family. So who cares what anybody else thinks? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So I don't know. I did believe in God, the Christian God, at one point, and then I was like, this is seriously, how did so and so get, two of each on the ark, one male mosquito, one female mosquito? How? No, it wasn't possible. There's no proof in it. And then I found my faith, and then I looked and I saw the earth, and I said, okay, well, I can see the earth. I can see these energies, I can feel them. That makes more sense. It makes a lot more sense to honor the energies around us, the energies in the earth, than having a book to tell you what's right or wrong, because you're already born knowing what's right and what's wrong. Which is just, it's ridiculous. But no, I've never really had anything bad happen. Backlash, for the whole Ouija thing in junior high, which was blown out of proportion. Stupid. That was completely blown out of proportion. I was always in trouble for bringing a book on witchcraft to school because, even though the library had those books. So, yeah. School was fun. That's pretty much how everything got started. And it has been such a fulfilling path. Fulfilling spiritually, and just, I can go to bed at night knowing, I'm not going to go to hell. There's no such thing. The Christian God is not going to condemn you for anything. It's stupid. And I find it comical now that I can laugh at it. And I can laugh at the Bible and I can say, no, that's completely false. Because I know in my heart that, no loving, all-loving God would set his entire creation up for failure. So that's basically what God has done, is set us all up for failure. So only a few can go to heaven. But, yeah, the Ouija. At one point, I had, the psychic circle. The most amazing replicas from the movie. Literally from the movie, the planchette, perfectly made. Everything was just perfect about the board. And then people would come over and see this, and then they would break them, and then I would get a new one. My grandma would take me, and she would get me a new one. And it just repeated. They would break them, and then I finally realized, okay, you guys are not going to break my stuff. So I put it away. I put it away, and I just kept it just kind of low. And then I finally just, when I came out, I fully just, this is me. So accept me, for me, or not. So that's how I got into the Ouija. That's how I got into spirit communications. But yeah, Witchboard was the number one influence. And I thought going into it I was going to contact David from the movie and all that good stuff. And the figure 8 was his sign, his signature, when he came in to talk to them through the board. So I don't see how they've gotten to the point where the figure 8 has become evil, because it's not. So I don't know. A lot of research, a lot of practice, trial and error. That's exactly what I've been doing for coming up on 22 years. So it's been fun. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm still learning. Still learning. But yeah, it has literally taken me this long to have such good communications. And I'm like, wow. Now I look back and I'm like, oh, I did this. I saw from when I was young to now, and this is what I've seen. This is how I saw myself. So I created my reality. I created this me, and it's awesome. It's amazing. But I don't know. I've always been different. I've always been into, even littler, more little, or more younger, like 3, 4, 5. Taking different herbs. I don't know what they were now. Like probably just grass, and like dirt and worms, and grinding them all up, and I thought it was a potion. And so curiosity, literally curiosity. Cemeteries, exploring all these haunted places for years and years. We would go every single night to all of these different haunted places. Peru, Indiana, wait, no, Francisville, Indiana. The light. If you park your car, you guys can go on Shadowlands. Look up all these different places. Troll Bridge, Little Egypt, the Witch's House, the Witch's Circle in Danville. That's way south of me, and just the Francisville light though was incredible, and Crybaby Bridge was also incredible. So just exploring all of these different haunted places, very fun, very fun. The baby crying, big Crybaby Bridge, literally my first car, 16. Me and a bunch of others. Me and another girl were in the car. I was in the back seat, and we had the doors open. Everybody was down the road, and we started to hear this baby cry out of nowhere, and it sounded like it was coming from the inside the car, and it crazy. It was fun. It was scary. We did stuff like that. We didn't go do drugs or but nothing like they do today. Nothing like it is today. I don't even think you can go in a cemetery anymore, unless you're in there for religious reasons. Say to honor your ancestor or something. I don't see why you couldn't go into a cemetery with a Ouija. I mean, I've done that. There's also rules. They say don't go in there in a cemetery and play the Ouija. Well, I'm very guilty of that. That was fun. That was a lot of fun to do. God, we did the Ouija everywhere. Everywhere. I even think I took it to school with me once. No, I think that was a bottle of Jack Daniels that was in my bag. Not a Ouija board. No, it was a carton of cigarettes. And I think a small bottle of airport Jack Daniels bottle. But yeah, we had fun. So that was, just everybody coming together, your seances at midnight, the typical teenager stuff. And then I grew and realized this is not a game. You treat it with respect. You have to treat it with respect. And that's how it got started. It grew and grew. And my passion became more and more. And then I started to find out the history of the boards. I started to really study the history of the board. Yes, it was invented as a parlor game, but the intention behind it is still spirit communication. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it was considered a parlor game, but the intent behind it is to contact the dead. That's what it's for. That is what the Ouija is for. Contacting the dead, contacting angels, contacting your spirit guides, your higher self, people that are in comas, people that are asleep or awake. I've done that. I think it's time to do that again. The beast is... yeah, that's my... I don't know. I've had a lot of very cool encounters and spirit communications, and just throughout my whole life, just everything has been centered around the occult, witchcraft, paganism, magic, spells, astrology, astronomy. God, I remember when I could actually stay up until past midnight and do my spells and my magics after midnight when you're supposed to do them. But we're talking the Ouija. So yeah. I did get a little freaked out at one point when I would use it in my closet alone. At one point it was my imagination because I was very young and I did not know better. I thought I heard things. I thought I heard tapping, tap, 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 tap. That was all in my head. So none of that was accounted. No, I don't contribute that to the board. Yeah, I did get in a lot of trouble for the Ouija. At one point, it never stopped me. Never stopped me from using it. Never stopped me from, obviously, hello. So, no, I think once you've experienced it for so long, and then it just becomes natural, it's, yeah, you're set. You're set in your ways at a certain age, and I'm very set in my ways about the board. So I'm very grateful that I was never, you know, raised to think it's evil, it's demonic, I was never pushed, I was never brainwashed like most people are into Christianity or Catholicism or these crazy literal cults, which are really insane, especially the Christian ones. Yeah, I totally just, I knew it. I just knew it from day one of watching Witchboard. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to dedicate it to spirit communications, and it's taken this long. So it's not, oh, you're not going to get overnight success if you're going to just stick your hands on the planchette and expect results instantly. It's a work in progress. It's an art. It's, you perfect your art just like any artist does. So yeah, and I had somebody else ask me how I dedicated my hands as a vessel. I just simply state my intent that my hands are a vessel for spirit communication. So if the spirit wants to manipulate my hands, they are more than welcome to. I don't personally believe in possession, so I don't think that I can become possessed. I think that's stupid. I think that's an old belief that has been completely wiped out by science. All possession cases are scientifically proven now, almost all of them. Just like the exorcism of Emily Rose, Annalise. Her parents were convicted of, manslaughter? Second degree or first degree murder for neglect because they relied on their faith instead of doctors. So that just shows faith healing works so well. So well. But yeah. I'm just set. I'm set in my ways. I'm never going to change. I will never convert back to, I never was a Christian, so I will never go back. I'll never practice Christianity because I just think it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I find peace, tranquility in my practices with the Ouija, with witchcraft. It's freeing, it's more liberating. I've never felt closer to God before in my life. And it's just incredible. It's a very incredible experience and a very incredible journey. And I never thought, you know, looking back at all of my different essays in school, the occult, the paranormal, hauntings, possession, witchcraft, the Salem witch trials, and then it went into euthanasia, Dr. Kevorkian, all these different non-traditional things, which I thought were fascinating, and I still do. So I think it's incredible that I was never brainwashed by the Bible. So that's how my Ouija journey started. And then out came Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, which was, I love all three. all 3 Ouija boards were a very big, well, the first one obviously was a very big impact. The craft, I'm sure, almost all witches, Wiccans, pagans, Satanists, heathens, I don't care what you are, have had some kind of influence from the craft. That was part of my generation. So, that surely influenced me. The spiritualist movement was getting in motion when I was growing up. So, just many different people that I surrounded myself with had experiences and had Ouijas and tarot cards and just all this stuff. Just all this amazing stuff that was so much more interesting than Bible school. So, that's my experience. That's how I got started. My parents, my number 1 supporters. Seriously. My number 1 supporters. My mom. My mom is my number 1 supporter. Always. And I think it's incredible. I even think me and my grandma used to Ouija together. I don't know. Me and a few of my cousins would Ouija together, just different stuff. They were raised very heavily Christian, so they would always ask for forgiveness, which I never understood. After a Ouija session, I did not understand that. So I just never understood that concept of, well, if you think it's wrong and you're going to do it, but you're going to ask for forgiveness, what's the point? So I've always found it to be just spiritually fulfilling. I've never felt closer to God, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it. So it's been an incredible journey, a very incredible journey, and I would not take any of it back because it's too incredible, too amazing, too much good stuff, too much good stuff. But it's all in your intentions on what you want to come from it. When I was little, I visualized myself being the way I wanted, and I wanted all of this when I was yay high. I wanted my tongue pierced. I wanted the nose ring. I wanted the ears. I wanted tattoos. I never thought about white hair. Never thought about that. But I did know what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go. And I got there. I got there. Halfway. 20, coming up in 22 years. So, halfway. I think it's incredible. But, I don't know, a lot of people just don't like for other people to think for themselves, and that would be the church. They want to hide everything from you and make you think that they're the only people that can give you that information or that little bit of divine spark from God when it's already in you. It's all in you. So that's what I've learned. It's in you. You don't need a book to be a good person. You don't need a book to tell you what's wrong, what's right. If you don't know what's wrong and what's right, then you need to be locked up in a straitjacket. Not the good straitjackets. But yeah. I do get a lot of backlash, though, from specific people. Now, still. Which is a very big, it's very hypocritical of said people to come back at me and say, well, you practice witchcraft and the Ouija. Well, you've had 15 abortions. What's the difference? So, and I'm not against abortion. Not at all. It's the woman's choice, her body. It's their bodies. You know, I know if I was a woman, I wouldn't want something inside of me that I didn't want there. So, just my opinion. And I'm very happy person, very joyful. I do not believe anybody can be that happy 24/7, joyful. That's what I go for, is being joyful. So yes, my entire life I have done this. Practicing magic, ritual magic, necromancy, alchemy, Hinduism, Buddhism, psychic abilities. Trying to open your psychic abilities takes a very long time. Channeling takes a very long time to tap in and really program your mind. So it's a total journey, a fun one. You learn so much. So think for yourself. Don't let other people tell you that it's evil. Think for yourself. Experience it for yourself. And that's my only advice. And pure intentions. Don't go in thinking that you're going to get Satan because you're going to get some kind of low astral spirit that's going to say it's Satan or the devil. Which all rational and adults know that the devil's not real. Stupid. Very stupid. So, that's how I got into all of this. That's how I started. So it's been a very fun, an incredible, and an enlightening experience for many years. And I'll die doing it. So that's my how I got into the Ouija. How I got into the Ouija. Blame the parents. No, I don't blame them. I thank them. I thank them for being that supportive and just that amazing. I wish everybody could have, that freedom that I was given. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's why I have such a very good relationship with my family. I'm sure I do get shit for this, but at the end of the day, we love each other, and it's no big deal. So that's why I really think that it's cool to love your family, your mom and your dad, respect them always. It's common sense. So I'm just very blessed to have the family that I do. I know not a lot of people have that kind of family, and I wish they did. But beyond, outside of turning 18, there's a lot more out there that you will discover. Some of it's going to be pretty hard, and some of it's fun, and yeah, you just got to do it for yourself. So don't sit there behind the computer and say the Ouija doesn't work if you've never tried it, or it's the devil if you've been brainwashed by your church. It's cultural, very cultural. People are so influenced by cultural, religion, and everything that it's just it kills your spirit. It spiritually kills you, I think. Anyway, that's my story. That's my story. So, alright guys. I've done enough talking for the day. So, yeah. I love you all very much. I hope whoever asked for this, I hope that sheds some light into it, how I got into it. Just how amazing, everything is. Everything just turns out the best, and everything's good and awesome. So, alright guys. That's it for today. So, I love you all very, very much. And happy exploring and learning, and happy boarding as Karen would say. And yes. So yeah. Everybody have a great day. And I will see you all tomorrow. So, I was going to say something else, but I forgot. So, alright guys. I love you all very much. And thank you for watching.